Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Stalker of the Week, which is Temperance. Right, if you're new here and you do not know what Stalker of the Week is, it's a collective reading or special reading, collective reading. Yeah, I do on a specific energy that kept showing up or somehow it stands up to me. So we're looking into it, pulling it out. We're stalking it, asking why are you stalking or why do you. In this case, yes, Stalker, it's more of an energy that has really shown up to me as a reader here, as a curiosity. So we are basically curious in return, and it's the Temperance, which is about balance. It's also because I saw the Six of Pentacles quite a lot in the last week's this week's Tea of the Week. Right, let's get to it. Yes, the mic is a little, let's pull this closer. The mic is a little bit turned over there because I had a meeting. So, and my little elephant mic wasn't allowed on that meeting. So I had to turn it where it's like no one could see it. Anyway, let's see. What are we doing here? We are starting by looking in how is it playing out? What's the message it brings to your life? The Temperance. And you roll in it and so on. We're using tarot and some oracles. I hope you're all doing well. For those of you who are not new here and questioning why is it so delayed, this is because normally it comes out on Friday. It's because I got invited for wine. All right. So let's see. What do we have here? It's about balance. So interesting. I just say wine, and we know what the Temperance is about. It's also about well, yeah, but I didn't get drunk, so, let's see. Let's just have fun. Let's start by pulling one of these cards here. How is it playing out in your life? How is it playing out in your life? What's going on right now in regards to Temperance here for those to whom I may be interested. We have peace. Peace and brief. This is awesome. Peace. I mean, is there really much to say about it? Let's read what is in the book about this peace. It's number 23. That's kind of an interesting starting point. It's just peace, freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. This is one of those times where you are capable of a clear vision about what it is that you want in your work, how you create your prosperity, and in terms of your relationships as well. Things are good. It's a time of calmness. It's a temporary well-being in spite of I thought it was like it's a rare occasion, but right. When it comes to matters of the heart, don't make any plans right now. If you're not partnered, it's good to take time out to get to know yourself. If you're involved with a partner, relax and just be with your partner. This is going to be an uneventful moment in time. Don't force anything now. Yeah, you're a human being, not a human doing. It's possible you all right. Are you I love this. Is it possible you're suffering from workaholism? Could it be that the one who thinks that you're the one who thinks it's your job to save everyone, to be there for everyone, to go until you can barely see straight? You've gone as far as you can. You worked hard, you nourished people and projects, but now you are empty and you have no empty well, and you have no reserves for others. Looking down into you will learn, blah blah blah. That is basically what it counts when it's not in alignment. This Temperance in general is that when you look at the Temperance. Do you see this little puppy has his foot? Well, normally in Temperance, the person has one foot on land and one foot on in the water. This pool, which is also in the star card, by the way, represents the collective, right? That is in Rider-Waite deck is rather important. That notion of the pool representing the collective, because in the Rider White deck, the person, the guy, whatever, woman, the person, angel, whatever, is in the deck, has one foot in the pool, one on the ground here up here, which is that of having one foot in the collective, like being part of your society, being part of your life, showing up in life, basically participating in life. Meaning that that is the understanding of you are not the center of the world. That's basically what I mean by that. When we are part of the collective, when we are part of a society, it's just that, even just that of being with your partner, that is the collective as well. It's just the understanding that we are not the center of the universe. We coexist with other people. So, stop taking oneself too seriously, or you know what I mean. It's just, that is always a good way I have found personally to create balance in my life, is to stop one moment, just think, all right, breathe out, stop taking yourself so seriously. And is it killing anyone? Basically, what's one I taught was that if sometimes we do things and we believe that it's just so important that we do it, we have to do it by this and that, and then if we can stop ourselves and say, all right, will it kill anyone if I wait until tomorrow? What will happen if I wait until tomorrow to do this? And unless it is like someone will die, then yes, don't. But if it's like, all right, maybe I will do, maybe have some extra work for tomorrow, but I need a break. In this case, it was something about, when you have to do paychecks, where if we have to do it by one day, we need to do it by one. It's easier, something where you have to report it in, but if you've missed that date, all it means in general is that you have extra work the next day. It's not because you're going to break down the world for everyone not getting their paycheck. It's just that you have to do it manually. So it's just that energy of like, slow down. It's okay. Let's see what we have here. So with that was about being one foot in the pool. Is that's the balance. That's the balance act. And we have here perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to, and underneath the deck we have self-esteem. Brief self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. It's actually a very good energy we have for you guys. I don't really feel as though there's much to say. We will see when we pull out tarot, right? Peace and perseverance, being in harmony with yourself. You can do whatever it is that you set your mind to do, yes, but in this case also one of like patience, saying yes, I can do it. But like yesterday was like, all right, I should be doing this Stalker and all of the other readings, but you know what, just got an invitation to see someone I haven't seen for a long time, get some wine, play around with a puppy and the older dog as well, so it's okay. Let's pull let's wait with that one. Let's see here. Show me more here. Temperance. Show me something in the past. Show me a past energy in relation to this temperance for the collective. Show me where we're coming from. Where are we coming from for this? The Lovers. And Eight of Swords, or Eight of Cups and Death in reverse, and 10 of Swords in reverse. Right, what does this tell me? Well, it has to do with a choice. Lovers, and these are two major arcanas, right? The Lovers and this is soulmate energies, by the way, when they show up together, but I just want to quote Lizzo, you are my own soulmate as well, which has to do with that of the choice, the decision, and remembering oneself, right? These two, by the way, can also be in relation to a partnership, that way you kind of feel like though you are merging together. I do sense a little bit, when I look under the deck here, a little bit of challenge in terms of walking away from something here, because something could have felt very, very, very powerful to you, but it is very much a soul lesson related to growing up, whatever it is energy is attached to, something about growing up, learning to choose yourself, possibly dealing with abandonment issues, learning to let go, learning to accept what's that, there's a future, right? People do not like change. As a general rule here, people do not like change. We do not like change, so we hold on to things, and we can respond rather irrationally, even just to the thought of there being change. when you work in management, you for instance, one of the challenges you have is when you have to work with change in the organization, and then working with the people in regards to having them adapt to change. Because change can always make someone feel fear that they're gonna lose, that they're gonna be fired, that they're gonna be replaced. So when you're a manager, or you work in a management position, or you have kind of sort of that responsibility, you have one of your challenges or your task is to, well, in this case, to work on the way you communicate. Why am I even telling you this? Well, I am, in terms of, changes. It's not just because we have change. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to be replaced. It's also your experience when you're raising children, teaching them to deal with change. Right, here we do have an inability to let go and underneath the deck. But I see this healing coming, right? It's almost like some of you could have been in a situation where it's like you realize something being built on a false foundation, and then being a situation where you kind of learning the balance, right? It's this temperance is also, by the way, a very boring energy. In general, temperance is extremely boring. It was when I was learning tarot, temperance with me was very difficult because I'm an impatient person. But then again, I'm a bit of a contradiction because I also like to do my things properly. So, whenever temperance you want, we will often hear divine timing, patience. It stands in strong contrast to the Chariot in that way, because it's patience. But in all cases, we have the Lovers here. So, tell me more about the Lovers in the past. We have 9 of Wands in the reverse, which is some of you have been wounded. What do I mean by that? Something about learning to set up boundaries, learning to say no, learning to say I'm not gonna allow people to walk all over me. Not that I'm really seeing that. It's more of a It's a letting go, right? It's a letting go of something that you struggled to let go of. For some of you, it could have been that you were put in a position where you feel as though you didn't have a choice. Your free will was taken. And I was just thinking, COVID. No, but it was more of that being put in a position where like someone dumps you, right? And you don't have a choice. You're being dumped in a way where it's like, mate, you just packed up and left in the middle of the night. What about giving an explanation and then learning to deal with that? Now let's see in the present situation where we have this peace and perseverance. Show me more about that in regards to this. There we have King and Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. And we have Ace of Cups in the reverse. Now this is interesting. I can do peace, and I can do whatever I set my mind to. King and Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, see, if things now, the mood is changing a little bit, right? And Ace of Cups in reverse. This is an unrequited love situation. This is an unrequited love situation, but then I look underneath the deck here. And this could probably be you, right? Holding back. You're saying, you know what? I'm going to have dignity and grace. I'm going to pull back a little bit, which is that of patience here, saying, no, I'm pulling back. I'm taking my energy, retracting my energies here because there are some red flags in this case. And I'm not going to give everything that I have. And going back to the drawing board, I'm going back to finding my star. Remember, this is the star. You see the star in this Latin. And remember what I said about the pool here with the star energy also having the pool in it. In this case, it is more about, going back into yourself. Or not going back. It's more of you saying, I'm holding on to myself. I'm holding on to my energies. I'm holding on to my what is my path in life, my time. Also with the perseverance here, again, this boring energy of, all right, you know what? I may not be getting all the golden riches, my wish fulfillment right now, but I will persevere. I will understand when I'm placed in positions where I'm being judged just for the sake of being judged, and when people are very superficial. This could be two people, a couple, could be parents, or it's just a king and a queen of pentacles, right? It's a couple together that is like, it's those who marry for money and for wealth, and stand in a big, I don't know, castle, and they look down on everyone else because they don't have all the riches. But what these two people don't have is that they don't have the love. But they will look down on other people. And it's also, it's just one where there's not a lot of love. It's staying together for the sake, also in more, realistic ways for a lot of people, instead of staying together, just staying together. Let's see, what is your role in it? Show me you. We have the Sagittarian, redefining your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. All right, let's see. I will explain that. Show me this queen. The queen has the seeker, and this one has warrior. Right, let me explain. And we have monk nun. What do I get here with you in this? Oh God. Guys, no. I cannot even. All right. And this is also about, creating balance in your own life and not trying to save other people. Did you give too much? Do any of you have a history of trying to save other people? We are nobody's savior. I always make fun of this Messiah, because Messiah to me is, you won't ever see me doing that. Hopefully not. Being a Messiah has a lot to do with believing that you are the one who can. You're the one placed on earth to do this purpose only, and no one else can do it. It's a little arrogant. It's not. It's that. Remember what I said about being in the pool of the collectors. It's like, you know what, you're important, but we're not that important. Right? You're very important. Of course, you're important, but you're not the only means to the end. Right? It's. And I know some people will get pissed off on that if they are. It also depends on their culture, where they're from. Because I'm very much in the Yantalo, right? But it's that of, believing oneself as the only solution. No, we work in teamworks, right? We live together, we work together in teamworks. And no one's more important than the other. Personal opinion, of course, right there. But the Messiah is one of having humility. Serving humanity with humility versus believing that you're the only one who can make things work. No. But you know what? When I look at here, we have that Sagittarian, which is again, redefine your capacity to help those you prefer to ignore. I'm laughing because this Sagittarian, when I was getting the deck, getting to know, it's like, all right, what's my? I was asking to Sagittarian, it's like, what kind of, what don't I do good? What was like, it was one of my shadow sides. Was like, meaning that one of the lessons I had to learn in life was to be of service, to help use my gifts, whatever, and to just. This sounds crazy, but be kind to people who just don't give a shit. I know it's very brutal and mean to say, but it's Sagittarian, because I remember getting it's like, I don't know, what the hell is a Sagittarian? So it's helping people where you're like, oh, I don't have time, but I gotta. I have learned. It's been many years. It happened almost naturally. I had to go through a lot of beatings to see. To become, it sounds so crazy. It sounds like I'm a snob, but I'm not. But it was more like, long story short, through life, something happened. I had to go for a long journey where I really got to visit all many layers of society. Let's say like that, and I got very humble because, well, you know that when you say you fall from the top, the faces you see on the way up, but those you see on the way back down again. I really got to learn that about, And my parents already taught that, but I really got to see it. One thing is what you're being told, but I got to see it. Right? We're not that important, and there are a lot of other people. Yesterday I was passing a grave for the homeless, and it was like, all right, here we have people who don't have people. They bury, but they may not have a name, they may not have their family, but you can see it's one of the most decorative graves, and because the other homeless, they come and other, long story. It's just one of being humble. but that's where you are at, right? But that here it's also one. If you have a shadow, we will look into that shadow and being pulled to that. That would be one of being expecting to be recognized for what you give. But when we look down here, what we see here, I really get that some of you have, possibly some of you. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty of it, right? Peace and perseverance. I get that this is a lesson for some of you where you don't recognize as being in peace and all that, but you're like, all right, tell me something. Tell me something if you struggle or you something's going on. It might be that you're thirsty for figuring out where it is that your path, where the money is at, right? And that is, or it's a person you're dealing with here who is like this, is inability to really commit to something. They go in different directions and all over the place, and not really taking the time to truly learn. They're easily distracted. They are like a seeker, always searching for truth and wisdom, but they don't have that capacity here to stick to one path because it takes time. This journey I was just telling you about that I went on, which I hope no one misunderstood, I call it a spiritual journey, I call it a life journey. That path was about 10 years. Was it 10 years? At least. I'm still on it. But that one it's like you heard other people where they, some people where they talk about, some actually got homeless. It was a similar journey like that, except I didn't go that road. It was just one of going of life throwing me through situations that I got to know different layers of society, which is extremely important because of what I do and work. And it's a similar here because that took time, right? So here it is something about taking the time to learn. But it also may be someone that you're dealing with. And when we have here someone who trades their ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others, it is the King of Pentacles in a nutshell when he's dark. When he's upright, the King of Pentacles, who is he? Well, he is someone who has strength, skill, discipline, and toughness, and of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrificing in the conquering of the ego. But when he is in the shadow, he has that, as I said, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Some of you guys have been dealing with this shit. Some of you have been shamed by someone who tells you can't commit to anything because you are someone who could be searching for your path here, right? And as I said, it takes time. It's not like you wake up. Well, depending on where it is that you're going, but in many cases, a lot of people, they have what we call like an existential crisis. A lot of people have it. It happens in all stages of life in different ways, where it is that we stop and we look and we're like, I'm on the wrong path. I'm on the wrong path here. And then we take time out. What's really important is that when we take these time outs, which happen, call them an existential crisis. They happen people deal with them in different ways. Those can take some years, right? Some can deal with it in a year or two, where like a story I got the other day about a young woman being on the wrong educational path, which would lead her into a career she would not have been happy in, right? And that work, meaningful work, which would have meant if she had not stopped, if she had not had also, by the way, her parents supporting her, she would have probably gone in a direction where she had to stay on a lane for the rest of her life, where she would wake up and not be happy when she had to go to work, because work, let's face it, work will take up a lot of our time in life. Because I know it's like, oh, spiritual love and all that, yes, but we gotta pay the bills. We go to work, we have a work, whether or not we work for others or we work for ourselves. Point being, work is important, or feeling aligned with it, no matter what it is that we do, is up for people. I don't believe there's one right. Well, the right path is that which feels good for you, where there will always be issues, right? But where you feel aligned with the work, and a lot of these existential crises, apparently it shows the ones that show up here, right, also with the pentacle energy, is that of being on the right path. But a lot of bad things, about a lot of misunderstanding, I would say bad things can happen. For instance, when you feel pressured by family, and when you feel pressured by typically family here to live up to a certain image, or you have to go on a particular path, right? And that would be where I got this shame of being able to commit to a path. And then someone here being, especially with the king here, being someone who doesn't give a shit about how their ambitions, throwing ambitions on other people, judging other people, which would be you, has an effect on you. For some reason that shows up. And then we have you up here. Let's go back to this wanting to save. Right, for some of you it's because you want to go down what some people would call a soft path, working with people. Now I'm gonna say those who have the capacity to do that, the innate talent to, for instance, work as social workers, as psychiatrists, as teachers, anywhere where you're dealing with people. We're all dealing with people, but you know, in those matters, especially social workers, I always take off my hat because that's fucking hard work. That would be a work being looked down upon if you looked at these people over here, right? And I can understand if someone would find themselves struggling a little bit. Show me more about all of this before I go in all. We have a Knight of Pentacle. We have, see, that's the sun of these two people, and we have the Chariot, and we have the Page of Swords in reverse. This, I'm not joking. It's like I'm picking up on a story of a child telling their parents that I'm not going in your direction. I'm going in my own direction. It may be happening very, very, very slow. And for some, let me go over here to this peace and perseverance. It's because you are at peace with this decision, and you are at peace with pulling through. For those of you where this storyline is aligned with you, right? Because this is a very specific one. It's a home environment. Someone here communicating to their family, especially having to tell their father that they are. This is so all right. This is so specific. It's a child, right? Telling parents or something, or someone in the home environment communicating, telling them, I am not like taking over your business. I'm not doing your bidding here. I'm more creative. I'm more artistic. That's what I really got here. But I also still get this narrative regarding some of you, even if it's just one or two or whatever, some of you, maybe it's because some of you have grown up with a family member who made you, oh my God, can I really say it? Who kind of affected you in a way where it is they made you become or believe that you have to be there for them, because without you being there, they can't continue. You know, it's a little bit of a, for instance, when parents, or especially moms, this is what I call the mom wound, mother wound, one of them, being that the mom will not let go of the child. So the child is always feeling guilty whenever they are not there for their mom. Of course, can also be fathers, right? I see it happen in families where children grow up with an alcoholic parent, because you know it's a little bit. I'm not seeing codependence or anything. I don't really want to go into it because that is a term in its own. But I'm seeing a little bit like that, because that, however, is something that if a child is grown up in that belief, that leaves a karmic, a generational wound that the child will then have to work with as an adult, because, yes, as I said, can be similar to what we call codependence, which is you are the only means. So, all right, I'm not an expert on it, right? Don't stop, because codependence, the phrase codependence, is actually it's being thrown around a lot, like narcissism. These are two clinical terms in many ways when they're used clinically, and I just don't want to go into it because I don't have that background. I'm not qualified. All right. But I'm getting that energy that I know of, which is that of a parent having clung on, smothered. Mother. So what happens in practice is that the child, right, even as an adult, feels guilty when they want to become independent, when they want to show them their own individuality. Is a little, I was almost going to look at you over the pool. It's by being too much in the pool, because we do have individuality, right? That's the thing. We still have our individuality. It's not about shaming anyone into believing that you're not that important. You have to be there for me. It's really finding that balance here. Because as I said, you are important. But it's just the reason why I always use this, you're not that important, has a lot to do with not boosting up an inflated ego. Because when you, by the way, also you come in this, if you're raised to believe that you are the only means by which a parent can survive or someone can survive, then you're also a little bit up there. But I'm not even going to go in there, right? Let's pull immunology and let's see if we can get this out. But anyway, with the piece, we're going to look into the piece, right? Let's look into the piece. Let's get the good message. For some of you, this is a situation you're dealing with in some way or another. Show me the piece here for you right now. That was the unicorn in reverse. Alright, so yes, this deck has 2 cards in it. 9 of Swords in reverse, and we have the Friend. Right, so the 2 extra cards that are in this deck showed up here with this. There's the unicorn, and it's the Friend. I'm allowing these deck cards to show up in this Stalker. The unicorn, what's the unicorn? When you look at it, it is very, very similar to, well, as you see, is for me as a reader, it's a combination, or as an energy, is that of the High Priestess and the Hermit. And a lot more to your swords. I see a lot. We'll also see Iceland, but that's a long story. This is, well, the unicorn. What is the unicorn about? It's the third eye, right? This is about using that third eye to find your path. But when it's in the reverse here, it's again sometimes feeling as though you are, that energy I was going over here about, don't engage with fantasies such as that I have to be there because everything will crash if I'm not there. Depending on the situation, I'm not gonna go into all the individual situation. 9 of Swords in the reverse. I am seeing here the possible stress of what that happens when it is that, for instance, if we don't have all the answers, so we start making up illusions or fantasies, or we believe we know the truth to a situation because no one ever talked to us, no one gave us the complete answers. So we stress out in our mind, trying to make sense of a situation without having all the answers, and then more than often we engage with forms of fantasy. It's the typical one you hear. I know he has feelings for me. He's just not expressing it. But with the Friend here as well, I'm honestly getting. You're not engaging with this. I feel as though some of you're seeing things clearly. Maybe this energy that you're dealing over here with, that energy I got here with all the complex energy. Is this someone that you have as a friend in your life? Oh my god, yeah, so this is something that you are dealing with. Some of you could actually be a social worker. You're working with this energy, right? You're working with it, and you are at peace within yourself. Some of you, it is that you see this energy here of someone being in the family dynamic where this is playing out, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be brutal here. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my life throwing myself into this, participating in this. It's almost like you're standing on the outskirts of someone's life. It's like you see someone, be they a friend, or someone you're just figuring out, should I date them, should I not? And you look at it and you're like, I am not. If I go into a dynamic with this person like this, I'm gonna be thrown into this drama. I'm gonna be made a subject to all of this harsh judgment. I'm gonna be judged by their parents or by this person themselves, because the parents gonna whisper, because they have not fully grown up. They have not become independent. They have not grown up. They're not independent. They have not set up the boundaries they needed. They need to be able to be in a family dynamic, even where this is playing out, but still saying, you know what, I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. But they're still being ordered by the parents, right? You see that, and you're saying, you know, I'm not participating in it. I'm just gonna be a friend. That's maybe just friends, but I'm saying no. There's gotta be other options out for me, because I'm not the emotional trash can. My path is not being subjected to all of this. No. It's basically what I get here. Someone, you saying, you know what, I have too much self-esteem for this. I'd rather be alone, and I even know it will hurt me. It will hurt me here. I am deciding that this, because I feel some of you have been subjected to it already, and you have been, it's affected you, because some of you have been subjected to. There is this energy here about having been judged upon, for instance, the money you make, or your family, where you come from, or something like that, and you're saying, you know what, don't you dare. Because that's also what I get. It's like someone taking you up, standing you, putting you in a box, and then you have a entire family looking at you, judging you, saying, where do you come from, what kind of money do your family have, and all of that, which is bullshit. Personal opinion, of course, but you're saying, you know what, this is it. I'd rather be alone than this. And yes, we may be friends, but I'm not participating in this. So let's see. Coming up, and we're also going to do a moonology. Now let's see here. What do we have for the moonology? And then we're going to call it quits very soon. We have emotions are running high, be bold and make the first move. Supermoon. I remember this. The card suggested the answer to whatever you're asking about. Whatever you're asking is writ, large, like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. Come on. If you're wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or relationship, the answer is very. To use common parlance, yes, please. The answer to your question may well be, to use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. The card is about being larger than life, being special and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome when this card shows up, but you may find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. There's also a sense that opportunities around whatever you're asking about don't always come along every day, so take action. Success is close, you must have trust. And don't ignore the obvious and exciting things are lying ahead here. Yeah. Make sure you don't blow events out of proportion. That's also there. Right, that's also with the unicorn. Not let emotions, because that's what I get here, right? Some of you where you are finding yourself in the middle of it. Maybe it's you or them dealing it, but they blow things out of proportion, right? They make it bigger than it is. It could also be you. And that then disturbs the peace. It's like, all right, it's just... And that will commonly happen when someone here makes blow themselves up to be the end to all, the means to all ends, the messiah, right? They have to be there. It's like, just calm down. It's like, I'm so important. I am so important. But then in that case, there would be a reason as to why this person needs to feel important, right? They basically pick on something I cannot go into because it will take too long. Then we're dealing with someone here, be it you or them or whoever it is. They need to feel important. Why do they need to feel important? Because I already get that is an energy that ties up to something in a family dynamic. They need to feel important. So if they don't feel important, they stop existing. It's like them in order to have a meaningful life, that path which feels meaningful, they need to feel important. What happens if you're not? Then we're dealing here also with the Emperor in reverse, right? It's that of, can you just be? It's like you're not a human doing, you are a human being. Can you just be? No, I have to do this because when I do this, I am important. Let's see here coming up for you. Or this case here. They just threw out there. Queen of Cups, High Priestess. No, High Priest. And we have King of Swords. No, King of Wands. The only 2 upright cards. This is a couple that this is the weirdest couple I have ever seen. I just got this, like, alright, so the Queen of Cups will marry the Queen of Wands. It's like, this is the weird. I always say, Queen of Cups shall not be with King of Wands. In this case, maybe. I am so looking forward to see how this will play out, because these 2 are such a shitty, they are, in this case, I actually get right, that energy I'm picking up on right now is a good, and the only reason I'm saying that is because they are in the upright, right, and the way he looks, alright, this is so funny. I don't know if you see, she's just sitting there looking, he's like, huh? Queen of Cups. I know, maybe I made him sound stupid there, but, it's such a funny, it's like, whoop, who is she? But you see all of these leaves behind him. That is how quick he is. He's very, very quick. You also see he's surrounded by all the dryness, and she's in the water. She's in the collective pool here. That's where I get the Queen of Cups right now. I don't know who she is, may she be you or whoever, but I get a Queen of Cups that's in the collective pool, meaning that this is a Queen of Cups that's very grounded, right? She's similar to the Queen of Pentacle up here. Because I'm not picking. All right, it's a long story. This Queen of Cups here. There's something. I like her. Man, woman doesn't matter. It's just someone. They could have Cancer. They could have Gemini in their chart. They could just be they're fun. They're bubbly. They're interesting. They're extremely giggly. In a good way. And then we have this King of Wands. He's someone completely different. He will definitely, he's taken by surprise by this person. Well, however this shows up, I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely a different energy than this. This is almost like a marriage. Alright, show me this Queen of Cups. She's a teacher. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skills, and wisdom. She's a teacher. She's very kind. She's very, very sweet. She's very understanding. She has a lot of empathy. She talks a lot. Show me this. And this is a martyr. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself. This King of Wands, I don't have time because I have to move on here, but this is a completely different story. Alright, you know what? No, let's go. Let's go all the way in and make a long reading here, because this is interesting. I don't know who is who. I'm just getting a story now. This King of Wands is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself, or of course, this is the martyr. It shows up in the energy that I was picking up upon, like it being you, that the person whoever is then had been in that martyr and cemeterian, that's the king here. She's completely new. This is not a new person, or this is a new energy. This energy is not in the past. I don't know who it belongs to, who it is, maybe you, whatever. It's just as an energy, remember, that's what I pick up on. This is new. It was not part of all of this here. This energy is related to the peace and the perseverance, because she is extremely peaceful. Him, her, doesn't matter. It's an odd couple though. Right, so this king over here, show me who he is. I feel so honestly, the person who's in the king, it shows up as you, right? You're gonna be met by this teacher here, and it's going to be, for some of you, you are actually manifesting this in here. This is a person who's, I'm gonna protect this person because it is a strong person. It's the Queen of Cups and all that. It's not the Empress though. It's just I guys, if any of you are in an energy where it's, don't fall into that. Please don't fall into that discourse I want to say, where you use other people as a means to an end. A lot of people do it unknowingly. They do it. They believe that they are doing the good and what. But then, all right, let me give an example. It's that of you have your partner dumped you, you want to get them back, and you believe that you were wrongly mistreated and all of that, and they're the worst that ever happened. Still, you want them back. So you go out and you date another person just to make them jealous, and then at the same time you scream murder about how terrible your ex was because they did this to you, and then you actually do it the same thing, right? Is that what I call the rebound? You go out and you start invest in someone else, and you fully believe, oh my god, this person is new and I have it amazing, and if you really were to look down, you're doing it because you want to make your ex jealous, and you want to make your ex regret, so they come back. So in that case, if that would happen, you would dump the other person, right? That makes you a bully yourself, and that's really why, like, really strong believer of that. Look yourself in the mirror before you. Don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house yourself. I don't know what that may have showed up for some people here, but this one here, all right. So I see communication happening. All right, I see a king of wands running into this sweetheart over here. Could be a teacher, by the way. This person could literally be a teacher. Show me this. And I see a heaviness taking place. This Queen of Cups over here is someone who can take on a lot. I don't know, I just feel a little bit, this person should not get involved in this. Okay, show me something else coming up here for you. Show me this. Six of Cups. Alright, sweetheart energy. I don't know what, it's just that this, all right, let me say it like this. I'm getting here, this person here, who she's a teacher, she may even have, it could be a kindergarten teacher. It's just a Queen of Cups that's very, very, she's a strong person, right? But this person is still, this person has soulmate about them as well. As I said, it's the odd couple. I'm really getting, for some of you, this is you, if you're the Queen of Cups. Then it's you adopting this new energy, and what you're deciding is that you're communicating, as I always said, that you're not happy in this situation, and you're saying no to this King of Wands, yes. Because he's too much in and out, because he requires his freedom a lot, and I said it's the odd couple. It may have to do with the, a difference between someone here, the Queen of Cups, she wants more stable. Maybe she wants children. She's just very good here. And this King of Wands may be pissing sometimes on the cup that she gives. And that's why, if this is you, then that's why we have this communication saying no. Because this King of Wands even though he looks at her like, whoa, and all of that, he is still learning to let go, especially if this is the King of Wands that comes from this family dynamic here, learning to let go of this. And this King of Wands is affected in this. Some of you are dealing with, are going to face to, in terms of this creating balance and all of that, and finding peace and all of that, you may be dealing with forms of feeling a little addicted sometimes to the situation here. But you're still also growing. If your emotions are running high in regards to whatever situation is going on, it's because you are learning to confront, you or them are confronting addictive patterns, even if that's the addiction to a mindset that's just not working. All right, that's what I get for you. I hope that makes sense to someone out. It was very specific this time around, guys. It was not like this diffuse energy, even though I tried to, but it is very much a specific story, and I feel as though it ties up something to a family. It's a family dynamic. All right, that is what I have for you. I will see you next time. Ciao.